I first thought that it was COVID. And in retrospect, silly me.
I went in and I think I kind of knew.
I think I screamed. In fact, I know I did.
I was told this comes back, and I realized it wasn't going to be like the first time, that this might really be the deal.
I had an ultrasound, and I looked at the face of the technician, and she looked like she was going to cry.
We both burst into tears on the kitchen room floor. I honestly can say that at that moment we thought a catastrophe had descended, the likes of which we just had never known.
I had this feeling in my abdomen getting out of the couch, and I thought, pulled muscle, gotta be, can't be anything else. And I had a CT scan. I got a phone call from her. She said there are 4 areas of suspicion.
I felt a lump on my breast, and so when they told me, I wasn't really surprised.
I went through the doggy door because I was locked out of my house, and I cracked a rib, and that's how they found my bone cancer.
At the time that she was diagnosed, even though she was at stage 3C, she had no complaints, no symptoms. I mean, she was perfectly fine, and so that was a complete surprise to us.
And I think when the doctor was giving me my diagnosis, I heard what he was saying. But it kind of sounded like, I don't know if you know on the Peanuts, Charlie Brown's mom, where she's like, wah, 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 wah. So that's what I'm hearing.
I was pretty sure it was stage 3 or 4. And I thought, I don't know how important the staging really is. And so let's sort of postpone, getting upset till I know how upset to get.
I didn't even know what my diagnosis was. I was so clueless. I was starting to get an inkling something was terribly wrong, but no one had said to me the simple words, ovarian cancer, stage not 1,
I've got to say, it wasn't really until the recurrence was diagnosed that I felt entirely shattered and helpless and hopeless. And I think a lot of my mental exercise since then has been coming to grips with it. It's not easy, but it can be done. And I'm going to say, if I can do it, anybody can, because there's nothing special about me. I'm just one more woman in an unfortunate situation.
I remember moments of feeling just so weak and, hope sometimes gets thin. Yeah, there are definitely those moments where all your philosophical convictions don't seem to mean that much because you're just weak.
Yeah, I still have 3 kids to raise. One's already grown, but he's still my baby. I'm not afraid to leave. I'm afraid to leave them. Think about all the things that happen when they're adults, their children, marriage, careers, I'm just hoping that I could be around for that.
If it were me, in fact, when it's me, because I'm sure something like this is going to happen to all of us at some point. I don't know how one could cope with it. I can't do that. That's why it's hard for me to cope with the idea that Sarah's mortality. She handled this, I will say, like 100 times better than I would have.
There is no handling this well. There is no being a good cancer patient. I remember seeing a therapist and weeping, and then going to the therapist because I could not stop weeping, and it had been a while, but I still couldn't stop weeping. And she said to me, "Honey, you have yet to begin to cry," and it normalized the experience for me. You know, instead of being some wimp who wouldn't stop crying, it was like she was like saying, "No, you know, there's a lot more, and it's totally fitting."
I think that just to be positive in that people, you can go through this and you can do it, but you have to ask for support from your family and friends and receive it. Because there's a lot of times when you're a very strong woman or a strong person that it's hard for you to receive that kind of stuff and receive. Grab a hold of the friends that want to help you and allow it, because you can do this. 110% you could do this.
The chemo was hurtful and all my hairs come off, no energy, cannot eat or anything like that. And for a while I get better and the cancer come back again and do chemo again. So after that I do the clinical trial. So that will help me get away for 2 years, so I can go work, everything I want to do. So after that, the cancer come back again. So like three times of chemo.
My mom's had a very, very difficult life. She's been through a lot of challenges, adversities, and so I think that's kind of what's helped her get through this cancer also. She's really, really very tough, and tough mentally and tough physically. And there are times when I think she's too old to be doing some of the things that she's doing, and she just proves me wrong. She won't quit working, still doing 40 hours a week, even in the middle of chemo.
Knowing that we weren't alone was incredibly important. Knowing that it was possible to get healthy and to beat the disease in some cases was important. But most important was the support we got from knowing that we were understood and that others knew the feelings we were having in that moment, and they did, and they told us that. And that sharing for me was incredibly important and what sort of got me through.
It is reassuring to know that I'm not alone, and every time I go to the cancer center and then the infusion center, I am well aware that I am not alone.
I didn't know what to expect, and when I got there, it was just like a breath of fresh air.
In the process of trying to get diagnosed and not knowing left or right, COVID, this, that, I landed at Stanford.
It was a really easy journey for us. Like, everybody seemed to make everything very easy so that we could focus on, like just getting to the places where we needed to get on time. And, me making cream of wheat 3 times a day. I mean, that was essentially, what it boiled down to for a big chunk of time.
We moved to Stanford and were treated there, which eventually led to where we are now, which is a place we never would have believed we would ever get to, which is to say that we're free of any visible disease in her body. And from the moment that she turned to me at the stove and told me it's game over, to the moment that we learned that we had some open-ended future, I couldn't imagine that sort of transition would ever happen. I couldn't imagine it.
I think very highly of Stanford, but what I've learned, it really is just as excellent or more excellent than I had thought. It was absolutely impeccable. The doctors were phenomenal. The interns were so good. The fellows were amazing. I would talk with these people, chat with them, and they were just much better than I was. I was really amazed.
The doctors are so informative. They let you know, what options you have. And as Dr. Sledge put it, we've got something after that if it doesn't work, and we've got something else after that. we've got you covered for a little while, so.
The doctor and the nursing from Stanford were very helpful. They very nice and helpful. Anytime I finish my treatment, I get a phone call from them. They make sure I am okay. So I feel like so warm, warm me up. And somebody care about me so much,
They greet you. They want to make sure you're comfortable. Are you feeling okay? Am I hurting you? And they do it with a lot of kindness. And I think it makes my mom feel more comfortable.
I am not working on the assumption any longer that I am free of this disease and that I can just go forth and never think about it again. This is going to be like my invisible twin. I'm going to be, it's going to be with me all the time. So now there is a sort of a profound way of thinking about life. It's going to be more for the moment, if not now, when. And I'm just determined to live like that.
When I was diagnosed when I was younger, years ago, I thought, how can you start thinking into the future? But if you just live every day to the fullest, that's what probably everybody should be doing, and not thinking so much about where I want to be in the future or tomorrow. Just think about today.
I hope, of course, for a breakthrough, as we all do, and an understanding of the science that will change, for ovarian cancer patients in particular, but for all cancer patients, change their reality. But I have a smaller hope, which is that all those who get this disease and all those who support them can know what we've known in terms of how beautiful the support can be in your life, and to not miss the few good things and gifts that can come as a result of having your life be overturned the way cancer invariably overturns your life.
I think it's a case of just go through the treatment and get it over with. Just get through it and know that you're going to feel better. And with that, it comes some kind of hope.
There's good times and there's bad times. You get through the bad times and continue on with your good times. There's always hope out there, and Stanford is one place that gave me hope. I was searching for it. I was looking for it. Hope. I need hope, I had it in myself, but I need someone else to say, we got you. And Stanford did that for me.
you.